shift Sean Stevenson to the wing, and clearly the bench strengthened immensely with the arrival of Jackson Hemapop, Bryn Hall and Matt Proctor from All Black duty.
Well, Brazil, big challenge for them, and they're without their regular skipper Juan Rossetti for this game as well. This is a massive task. They've played a lot of international teams in the past, but this is the first time they've faced one from New Zealand. National anthems now. crowd of around 30,000, we're told, at the Estádio de Morumbi in Sao Paulo. That would make it the biggest game, or the biggest crowd to watch a rugby game in Brazil. A lot of pride, emotion, few nerves amongst the Brazilians as they line up. And if there are a few nerves, they're probably about to amp up a little bit more now, as for the first time they face the Maori All Black haka. Real sense of history about this game as Ash Dixon, cleared late in the week to play, prepares to lead his team with timatanga. Well, the Brazilians look ready to answer, don't they? Timatanga, created by Fetu Tipiwai, the creation, the gathering of young warriors and the setting of the highest goals, summed up in that amazing haka that really has thrilled the crowd in the stadium at Sao Paulo. You can see there is heavy rain has been falling, steady rain, and that's going to affect the going. Pitch looks pretty good. Like most of the big stadia in Brazil, it's predominantly used for the national sport, obsession, religion, whatever you want to call it, football. We know how good they are at that. Brazil, as I say, missing their regular skipper, grabbed this opportunity to play this game. They're a team that they've beaten Colombia, they've beaten the United States in the past. They earlier on this year beat an Argentina 15 that did contain some test players. They've beaten Chile, and some players to watch out for. They've got a very good tight head prop, Jardel Veterato. Two sets of brothers in their back line, the Duque brothers, Moises and Lucas, the halfback, and identical twins at fullback, Daniel Sansari and Felipe Sansari, the captain for the day in jersey 13. And a New Zealander in the team. There's always a New Zealander in the team, Joshua Reeves, their first five or fly half. And of course, he comes from Christchurch Boys High School. So, excited crowd. Biggest to watch a rugby game ever in the history of Brazil. They know the magnitude of this challenge, Richard. They are up against a real force here, but they want to give a good account of themselves.
Yeah, looking at, you can just see the enthusiasm clearly amongst the crowd, but also the players themselves, their approach to the haka was full of determination. And Yeah, massive amount of excitement, nervous excitement as well, and a huge air of expectation about the next 80 minutes.
Well, you can hear the samba drums, the famous drums of Brazil that inspire their players, and just waiting for the match to start. Federico Anselmi of Argentina is the referee. We've seen plenty of him in the past, refereeing Super Rugby, Rugby Championship, Rugby International games, and so he's the man in charge. Say the Brazilians, known as the Tupis, they take their name from the most prominent of their own indigenous peoples, and they will understand the mystique about this Maori All Black side, because mystique is such a big part of the sporting makeup in Brazil. It was an interesting addition to the calendar, this one, but it's a match that will massively boost the Impact Beyond Rio program that is being run in Brazil in association with World Rugby, looking to build on the massive interest in rugby created by having the sevens in the Rio Olympics. And we'll give you some numbers later in the game that'll just underline how much rugby is growing in Brazil. It's never going to be the national sport, we know that, but massive growth in rugby. More and more players playing the game, involved in the game. 160,000 now playing rugby at schools level. There's our referee, Federico Anselmi. Argentinians, well, a great rivalry between Brazil and Argentina, but he's the man in the middle today. So it will be Oteri Black. And he makes history by kicking off here at Estádio de Morumbi in Sao Paulo. And Brazil taking it down inside their own 22. Lucas Duque firing it back. Josh Reeves, he's got a very good left boot. This one's gone right down the middle though, and an early chance for Matty Lansdowne to run it back at them. Getting an opportunity at fullback today and working it away to the left. And New Zealand, of course, with the power of Akira Ioane, Reed Prinsep, Billy Harmon, Pari Parkinson and co. Some very good ball carrying forwards. They really are going to make this Brazilian defence work. Oteri Black trying to get a kick in behind, taken nicely by Sansari, and he'll clear for touch.
Oh, interested in their approach to this one. The Brazilians, their first touch of the ball, kicking it back to the Maori and kicking it into a midfield situation, so inviting the counter-attack from the Maori, and that might be dicing with danger and an early injury concern too. Lucas Abud, loose head prop for Brazil. Heavy contact, Pari Parkinson, who along with Isaiah Walker-Leoari were outstanding in the second row for the Maori last weekend.
So it's Kapene. Ash Dixon, the captain, throws to the line out, and the Maori All Blacks have the ball. Tay Walden just to set things up for a switch away to the right. This is where I think they're going to battle, just trying to contain the likes of Pari Parkinson, who is proving very difficult to get on the ground. In the end, he's taken down by Vettorato, the big prop, but they'll come back for a penalty. I don't think they'll be worrying about too many kicks at goal today from penalties, the Maori All Blacks. Field looks good. As I say, the rain has been falling for some time. Matty Lansdowne getting his opportunity at fullback. Jonah Lowe, Sean Stevenson, the wingers, Rob Thompson, Tay Walden in midfield, Oteri Black, Jonathan Ruru, 9 and 10, Ioane, Harmon and Prinsep, the loosies, Parkinson, Walker-Leoari at lock, Renata and May, the props, and Ash Dixon about to throw to the line out, captain and hooker, and they go down towards the back, taken down by Prinsep. They smuggle it back, Akira Ioane, and they look to drive, and Dixon's got his hands on it. Now they look to hold them up, so they reset and go the other way. Still got it under control, getting close, and they're over the line, and it's a try.
Well, last person that went in with the ball was Walker Leawere, and a little bit of early animosity in this one. They've sorted it out quickly, and the net result will be a Maori All Black try, and I'm picking it was Isaiah Walker Leawere that, well, he had control. He was the one in possession of the ball as he got driven over the line. Picked up a couple last week, the lock forward, and he might have got his name on the score sheet early here in Sao Paulo.
There he is, number 4. Walker Leawere had a memorable debut in Chicago, just a little bit of emotion pouring over there, but already just 4 minutes on the clock, and Terry Black looks to convert the Maori All Blacks' first try, which he does with ease. It's a 7-0 lead.
Yeah, and early signs of the areas where Brazil will struggle to contain this New Zealand side. So physical, that driving maul is a real go-to play for them. Their execution last week was very good.
So the man with the ball is Josh Reeves, New Zealand born, qualifies for Brazil on residential grounds, and chips a nice restart out too, but controlled by Akira Ioane. Harmon has it now, and they look to swing onto the attack. Walden now close to the touchline, but not into touch. Ruru clears it away, and having a charge is Ben May. Black waiting for it, but they go to the left, and Billy Harmon, great to see him playing in this game. Season it's had a few injury issues to deal with. Creeping up towards halfway now, Thompson getting a kick in behind the defence. Tracking back is Reeves, and sends a long kick downfield, but he hasn't put it out. And here's Sean Stevenson. Well, anything could happen here. He is so elusive, eventually ridden to the ground 12 metres inside the half, and Thompson has it, gets a lovely ball away too to Walker Leawere. Lands down now, flung to the ground. The feeling the Brazilians are going to have a fair bit of tackle practice today. Renata, well, the ball's left behind, but it's picked up by Ioane. Right, referee says it went forward. So we'll have a scrum. Gosh, they're a bit feisty, aren't they, the Brazilians? There's a bit of pushing and shoving and plenty of talking going on. You can see Tonke, Lucas Duque having a word there, the halfback.
Well, when you're a massive underdog, Tony, you got to front up. And that's exactly what they're doing, Brazil. They've come here with the right attitude. We're going to take a backward step. And they need to be physical for as long as they can be.
Well, this is Veterato on the tight head side for Brazil, up against Ben May. Could be quite a good battle. This Veterato regarded as the best prop or best tight head in the Americas Championship this year, although he goes to ground there. Now Reeves with the kick goes deep, bounces nicely back in field for Lansdowne, and counter-attack not really an option. Puts a long kick downfield. There is Reeves, Josh Reeves. Went to Brazil with his partner and now qualifies on residential grounds, but Richard's got a pro contract in the States coming up.
Yeah, picked up a contract in the Major League Rugby, Utah Warriors. So once he sees out his obligations with the Brazil national team, he'll head over to the States and apply his trade as a professional.
See a couple of the big men in the Brazil pack. The man in jersey 6, Virgo Vieira, a big lock, but Parkinson's got up and he's done really well. He's been in terrific form, and Billy Harmon makes good progress up towards halfway. Referee says a little knock on in there though, so Brazil are going to get their hands on the ball for the first time. Big roar goes up from the crowd. but now it's probably been ripped away. No, referee says come back. Good work from Jonathan Ruru there to tear the ball away from the oncoming Brazilian forwards, but they'll come back. No advantage from the knock-on by New Zealand.
Yeah, I guess the discipline here, as we see Ruru ripping the ball free, but no advantage to the Brazilians, so they'll come back to the set pieces. The discipline for the Maori is not to loosen up too early, do some graft, try and take the enthusiasm out of this Brazilian side, and then once they've done that, they can go to work. But impressed with the first up scrum effort of Brazil.
Well, big shove comes in from the Maori All Blacks. Ball flung rather wildly out towards the left wing, and Robert Tenorio, who makes a bit of progress, but he's had the ball taken off him by Sean Stevenson. Just looking at the two flankers in 7 and 6, I think there's been a bit of a jersey swap there. Muller's the man with the long blonde hair. Bergo, I think he's wearing jersey 7. Vieira, the man with the headgear towards the front. And Brazil ball too. They lob it down to the back, overthrown. Just now picked up by Reeves for Brazil. Duque clears it away. And opportunity to try and launch something. Sansari moves it on to his brother, but they ran out of room.
Oh, created nicely though, did Brazil. Have to give some space. And he immediately recognised the mismatch, got on the outside of a couple of tight forwards defending. Yeah, and then needed some support to bring the ball back in. Didn't come, so the Maori will go to the set piece.
So Dixon with the throw. Aruda just hanging off the back of the line out there for Brazil. And taken down by Prince. Ruru decides to put one high. Stevenson to give chase, but it's a good counter-attacking ball here, and now an opportunity for Brazil, and it's Tenorio, the winger, but he's given it away, and now they're going to have to double back as Jonah Lowe makes the kick downfield. Lansdowne giving chase. Reeves has gone back. Lansdowne keeps his feet. Ball comes back for Brazil, and Duque clears it away. Going to be taken quickly though. Thompson, in fact, picks out himself. Tries to fend off the first. No, they'll come back.
Come, time. Come. After every ball, we have push and shove. So you have time to talk with your player, no more. Talk with your player, no more. We restart with the scrum, black ball. Have a chat. Okay. Have a chat, please.
Well, it has been a bit feisty from the get-go, but as I said, I think the Brazilians just not wanting to take a backward step, front up physically, but Federico and Salmi's had enough, so the warnings have gone out.
Just got to make sure he's talking to the right Sansari brother. They're identical twins.
Daniel a couple kilos heavier, Tony, so that should be easy to spot.
Yeah, Daniel, the fullback, he's played a lot of rugby in France, mainly in the French second division. So 12 minutes gone. And Isaiah Walker-Leawere with the only try of the game so far. And it goes to the line out, won by Parkinson for the Maori. Crash ball from Walden. and he's not able to control it around the fringe. Trying to clear it away was Ash Dixon. And you look at big Veterato there rolling up his sleeves. The more of these, the better, he's saying.
Well, that's what he's there for. Without Veterato, the head prop for Brazil.
Well, he said before the game, we will fight to the end. We will fight to surprise World Rugby. Hasn't been any fighting. There's been a fair bit of pushing and shoving. But here he is about to go to work again. Powerful man in the boot of the scrum too. Andre Aruba, who, believe it or not, has the same name as Andre the Giant, who passed away not that long ago. And here he is just channeling the ball. It's a good scrum from Brazil. And the kick ahead from Reeves. Finding a bit of space at the back too. Stevenson. Well, I'm sure in time they'll open it up, but just feeling at the moment the time just to settle things down. But Brazil have to be happy with the way their set piece is working.
Absolutely. Impressed with their scrum. Three scrums. The first one, very good. The second one, not so. The third one, very good again. So are we on the confident train at the moment? Brazil.
Where's the hooker? Wilton Rebolo coming in for his captain for this game. Plays for the Saracens club in Sao Paulo. Ball tapped back. A little bit awkward, but Reeves has got it. And already signs that Josh Reeves, a very tidy player. Harmon making the tackle and helping dislodge the ball and then regathering it. So good work from Billy Harmon. Ruru kicks long and sends them tracking back too. It's Tenorio, the left winger. Well, he's almost got himself in a world of trouble, but he's got it away to Sansari here. Captain making play up towards the 22 before he's tackled by Ruru. Big counter ruck coming in from the Maori All Blacks. But coming away with it now is Diaz. Duque to clear. And they're going to try and chance their arm and run it out? No. Kick downfield, taken by Lansdowne. Now Black, well, he thought about kicking himself, decides might have a go here. Tipped up as Stevenson. And I don't think the referee's very happy with that.
No, something that happened after Black's passed the ball, Tony, and again it's the niggle. But this time it might have just crossed the line here. Oh, Teddy Black, after he's passed the ball, he's taken a big shot.
I think Ash Dixon's saying there, well, you want a game of footy, let's play one. I think he's getting a little bit annoyed by some of the, just a bit niggly.
That's not the incident. It was, oh, Teddy Black. I think.
You leave tackle late without the ball, no more. You go now. I say no more.
So there's a warning. In fact, I think we've got someone going to the bin here. We have. It's Wilton Rebolo, the hooker. He has been dispatched for the late shot on Oteri Black. And things just got a little tougher from the boys from Brazil.
Oh, it sure has. He's a big boy, Wilton Rebolo, and a big part of their early scrum. Well, it's not dominance yet, but it's certainly favourable towards the Brazilians. But without him, they've got work to do.
Communication's going to be interesting. Of course, Anselmi, being Argentinian, is a Spanish speaker speaking English. Brazil, of course, the language is Portuguese. Got a few players who've played in France, might know a bit of French, some of them will know a bit of English. Dixon throws, pulled down by Parkinson. And they drive it away too, but got players in front of the ball carrier.
Changing line.
Yeah, changing lanes, the call. The signal pretty universal. And the ball in the hands of Lucas Duque.
Yeah, an interesting one that. It's almost like, well, not questioning the decision bang on, but one of those situations where they changed lanes just because the Brazilians all defended on one side and it shared off, so it created a second maul situation, and all the Maori All Black players in front of the ball carrier and then immediately offside, so you see them share to the left, so that creates immediately a second maul. Players there not aware of that, so it's technical but bang on.
Yeah, the ball, to be legal, ball had to be right at the front of that breakaway. Now they'll have to bring someone on, will they? Or are they going to let the prop throw the ball in? Hooker in the bin. They go to the front, and Diaz Duque clears it away. Here's Aruda. He's put on the ground. Well, 18 minutes gone. Brazil with a man in the bin, but they're scrapping away pretty well. Muller on the charge. Reeves calling for it. Well, opts not to pass, and the referee's got the arm out. Maori All Blacks came up offside. And so you let them play a bit here and see if they can make something of it, and they might just do that here. Tenorio looks like a big, strong man on the left wing. And as the counter ruck came in, they'll come back.
He's looked good. How about Tenorio? Brought to ground there, but a couple of opportunities, ball in hand, and he's made yards and giving this very good crowd. 67,000 capacity here at Estádio do Morumbi, but half full, just over half full, so that's 30-odd thousand. I've never been good at maths, Tony, but it's a good crowd. I'll leave it at that.
Yes, I've seen some vision of the Brazilian team in action, and they play on some, has to be said, fairly average grounds normally. I mean, I know from your days back in Italy playing football, rugby, you tended to play on some pretty rough grounds at times, and it's been the case with these guys. They played an Argentinian 15 earlier on this year on what looked like a public park, really, more than a rugby ground. But, well, they're going to have a shot at goal here. And it's Duque's going to have a shot. So Moises Duque. One thing about Brazilians, they know how to kick a ball. This one over 50 metres. They're not going to make it. Worth a crack. As the older of the two brothers.
I think he would have had the distance, just didn't have the accuracy. Teddy Black will restart from inside the 22.
Well, 21 minutes gone, and still just 7-0. The try by Walker Leaweri for the Maori All Blacks, but since then, Brazil are battling away well here. Tronquez gets it away, Sanseri, so they're mixing things up. That time they had Daniel Sanseri, the fullback, waiting up on the right. There's Vieira. He's put on the ground on halfway. Trying a little pick and go. Good solid tackle made by Akira Ioane. Now Reeves looking to pop the ball back in field. And they keep it alive. Duque with the offload. Goes in again. And just a little knock on there.
It's that classic situation of just getting ahead of yourself. That's certainly a good option. the pick and go.
Well, they'd be pretty pleased here, Brazil, the Tupis, holding this very strong Maori All Black side, coming off a big win last week against the USA. They've got a man in the bin, haven't conceded any more points. There's Muller, distinctive figure. And the other big man in that shot was the Lock Vieira. And now they have to bring on the replacement, Kaik Segura.
So just figuring out who's drawn the short straw. I think it might be Vertigo.
Yeah, Muller's still there. In fact, I think they've taken the number 8 off, Richard.
Yeah.
Well, it's taken nearly 7 minutes for them to have to make the change because Lucas Abud through to the line out. So having a look at the other side of the scrum here now. Marcel Renata up against Abud. Underpowered scrum, and scooting away with it as Ruru throws a big wide pass, and now off goes Sean Stevenson, spinning in the tackle. Tenorio's finally got a hold of him. Ioane now 3 waiting for him. His reputation would have preceded him, no doubt. Black trying to get it wide, but struggling off the first tackle is Thompson. Now down the flank goes Low, but the ball's ended up in touch. So you can see the New Zealand wingers. There's Pari Parkinson, but Low wearing 14 is playing on the left. Stevenson wearing 11 playing on the right. Flag goes up for that.
Again, good defensive effort from Brazil. Good read. Player came out of the lines, made the spot tackle. Put the Māori under pass pressure.
So it's Segura, the temporary replacement hooker, while there's a man in the bin. They've only got another 1 minute 50. And good work too by Bergo to win the line out. They clear. Now Lansdowne looks to spark something from the back. Shovels it off to Stevenson. Now the switcher play. Not a great pass, but oh, Ben May with the booming boot. And what's this going to do? Oh, he's lucky. In fact, he'll tell you that's exactly what he was trying to do. Make it sit up in the in goal and force the dropout 22.
How about
and the chase?
Exactly
well,
right.
He was
the only one.
The only one impressed enough with his kick to chase it.
Yeah, they always say kick's only as good as its chase, and it wasn't great off the boot for May, so he thought I'd better turn it into a good one by putting in a good chase. Good effort.
So Reeves. Coming across to take the restart is Walden. And they set it on the 10. Still just 7-0. And this is tigerish stuff from Brazil. They're getting up. They're making their tackles. Their coach, Rodolfo Ambrosio, will be thrilled with this. Bit of a counter-ruck coming in here too. And they've pinched the ball. So Duque clears it away, and Reeves decides this time he'll have a run. Doesn't get far before he's monstered. And the ball comes out on the Māori All Black side. Walker Leaweri, Dixon now. They go wide. Walden still going, taken inside the 22. Princep arrives to help out. Rain really pelting down as the Māori All Blacks go looking for their second try. And it's May crashing onto it. About 10 metres out from the line. Ruru gets the call from the skip, goes left. Dixon. Well, they can open up a big, clear, open side here. Well, Ioane, well, referee says penalty. In the side. He's had his hands full.
Yeah, he's had plenty to do. He's earned his keep through the first 27 minutes of this. There's no doubt about that. Tell you what, I'm impressed given the conditions, Tony. Ball handling from both sides, impressive.
Well, these guys have got to be very pleased with their efforts so far. Nearly half an hour gone. They've had a man in the bin who's just returned, Rebolo, and he is a big unit too. And they've battled away, and it's still just 7-0. They go to the middle. Parkinson, they set it, handed it down to Harmon. Now Dixon's got it. They'll go for the line here. Ash Dixon held up just short. Does he know he's over?
Oh, he freed up the right arm. Ash Dixon under all sorts of pressure. This time they were tight. And then keep an eye on it. Dixon there, just freed up that right arm, slammed it down on the line. That's good work from the skipper.
Well, they got the first, I think, 4 minutes into the game, and it's taken them another half an hour or so. But I mean, that rain, really, it is very Amazonian rainforest stuff.
Exactly what it is, Tony. But look at that, good work. Eventually it shared away, but they stayed composed, always in control. Dixon, good awareness of where the white stripe was.
Sao Paulo, I hasten to add, a long way from the rainforest. It's a big city in the south. It's become quite familiar to New Zealanders doing the Argentina-South Africa trip in the Rugby Championship in recent years. It's a stop-off point, of course. Biggest city in a country heavily populated. The kick is over. And so the lead has doubled. Maori All Blacks 14-0, just short of half an hour gone in the game. And really they had to revert to one of the traditional strengths of the game.
Exactly, yeah, very much a go-to play for them. Had a crack on a couple of occasions. Brazil have defended it well. Penalised on one. The Maori, but on that occasion got it right. Stayed controlled, stayed disciplined, got the result.
It's Isaiah Walker Leawere of Ngāti Porou, his father Keely, of course, a Fijian who played for the great East Coast team of 1999-2000. Married into Ngāti Porou, and there he is in action, taking the kickoff down. They walk it ahead. Parkinson got the ability to get himself on the other side of a tackler, and oh, what a good strong carry, and then the offload away to Prinsep. Looking to get some rhythm into their game now, Māori All Blacks. They've been denied that to a degree. Black kicking, and not a bad kick either. In the end, Reeves deciding not to touch it.
They're still quite disciplined in their approach, still playing the field position game, the Māori. I guess somewhat dictated too by the conditions.
Well, yeah, the conditions are going to be a bit of a leveller. I mean, it is fair chucking it down. Loose ball at the line out, but Duque manages to scramble a kick away. And waiting for it, Stevenson lands down, couple of quick passes, now low. Away it goes to Thompson. Good, strong counter ruck. Duque, the little halfback, not afraid to get his hands dirty. He's the set now close to the touchline for Ruru. Prinsep puts the head down, carries strongly. Ururu, Black now through behind Rob Thompson. Stevenson's got it though, and stepping his way over halfway. Ururu, Black going to the boot again, and oh, is that going to go too far? It is. Well, almost a brilliant kick, but in the end, too far.
Again, impressed. Brazilian defensive system working well, and one of the better ones, the lock forward, Kleber Diaz. Tony moved into the second row, put on a bit of weight, flanker by trade. And running around like a loose forward. There he is in the 5 jersey, about to go to work in the second row, but I've been impressed with his efforts around the track and his ability to make decisions in the defensive line and shut down the Maori All Black attack.
Well, neither of the locks are particularly tall. Both around 193. But they are certainly very mobile. Unsteady scrum, and it's a free kick taken quickly by Brazil. Here's Sansari. Waiting to clear it is Duque. Fires it out to Bergo. Duque again. Reeves now, and trying to give the guy looks like their best attacking weapon, Tenorio, a bit of space. I think the referee's playing advantage here too. Muller can't take it. They'll come back for the penalty.
Yeah, definitely, you're right about Tenorio. He has beaten the first defender every time he's had possession of the ball. So, they've got some good firepower. Play it down. Muller, it looks like the player on the ground. Tony, test debut.
Just to give you an idea, there's the ball. Falcons ahead. Brazil, they've played 157 international games, and not all of them are test matches. Their winning percentage of about 39-40%. So they're playing a lot of teams from the Americas. But they've had some significant wins, and the one they celebrated the most really was the win over the United States a couple of years ago. 2016, they beat Canada a year later. And earlier on this year, the one I think that got them most excited, they beat that Argentina 15, 36-33. This is where I think the injury came. There's the header from Muller. But they came from about 33-3 or 30-3 down to win that game, Brazil, and that's a huge boost. They followed that up with a win over Chile, 28-12. And so that's given them some confidence, and they're coping with this really well. Thrown in by Rebolo. Unfortunately not able to connect cleanly with the jumper. I think this is a bit of a problem that's going to become more and more apparent. Just a lack of height in that Brazilian line-out. And also the ability of the likes of, well, that's Akira Ioane, but you've got Parkinson, who's such a very good line-out thief.
He's already nabbed one or two. Paddy Parkinson off the Brazilian throw. So there's that area of set play not working so well for the Brazil. This one is very impressed and continue to be impressed by their ability at scrum time.
Well, I guess either two things are going to happen in this game. The Maori All Blacks could run riot and everyone would be wowed, amazed, and think, well, this is a game with possibilities. Or Brazil could really come out and put up a good scrap and inspire people that way. Big scrum from Brazil as well, but they managed to clear it efficiently as far as Rob Thompson. And Ruru looks set to kick. Backs away, thumps it downfield, and all not well done there by the man we've been heaping praise on, Robert Tenorio. Trying to keep the ball in play. There's Trunquez on the other wing.
Give me a second. Quick.
Just waiting for a boot. They've been put back on. He got told to do it quick. Really undo the laces.
This is Veterato. Well, considering the conditions, it's great to see too the size of the crowd who braved the weather. Say 30,000, that is at least 30,000. We have no idea what the official number is, but we were told that pre-sales were at least going to half full the ground. Parkinson takes it down and they walk it up. Well, you can see they've done their homework and they have done that a couple of times now.
You have to use or you have to carry in front.
They didn't keep the ball at the front of the maul, is the explanation from the referee. Well, Ambrosio didn't come down in the last shower. Their coach, former Puma, a fly half as a player, but clearly he's gone to work here. He knew they'd do this, and so he's given them the option. You can see quite clearly where the ball is, Richard.
Yeah, although the argument with the Maori is that they had connected with the Brazilian player and therefore deeming it a maul situation, and some we're not seeing it the same. So I just have to make some adjustments and create better awareness there.
Yeah,
Maori.
You can't engage and then back away. And I think that's what Ash Dixon believes they've done. Here's Rebolo, plays for the Saracens Bandeirantes. Bringing it down is Vieira. And Ioane trying to wrap him up now, but the referee said he had his arms wrapped around him, I think. Or was he gone for a side entry here?
Yeah, incorrect entry into that.
I thought maybe he'd got him for wrapping the arms around before he got back to ground, but...
Well, it was an area they struggled with last week, the discipline side of the game, the Maori. And they'll need to, again, make some adjustments there.
Well, they're not going to have a shot at goal. They want to score a try. So they take their time over forming the lineup, calling the play. And it's Diaz, the big man, who brings it down. They drive furiously at him, though, the Maori All Blacks. And so there's no momentum at all from the lineup. Duki wants the ball, couldn't get it. Frustration from big Veterato, and well defended by the Maori All Blacks.
Yep, very well defended, very well read, very well executed, and quite literally just monstered the Brazilians on that occasion, and there was no way the ball was coming out of there.
Half-time approaching, less than 30 seconds away. And this, for the locals, will seem like a minor victory. In fact, we're not even going to get that 30 seconds. Maori All Blacks leave the field, leave the Brazilians to argue the toss with referee Anselmi. But half-time, Maori All Blacks have been restricted to just 2 converted tries, and they lead Brazil here in Sao Paulo by 14 points to 0. Kia ora, welcome back to Estádio de Morumbi, Sao Paulo in Brazil. A damp scenario this, but it hasn't done anything to dampen the enthusiasm of the local crowd or the local team. The Tupis of Brazil managing to restrict this outstanding Maori All Black side to 14 points to 0 in the first half. Richard Turner, second half, I guess a lot of people will expect the Maori All Blacks to pull away, but Brazil might have other ideas here.
Look, I think now they've probably gone into the tunnel and G'd themselves up again, because they came out full of energy on the kickoff, but they've kept themselves close here, Brazil, and so they will remain hopeful
So the second half starts, and Josh Reeves it is who gets us underway. And one thing the Maori All Blacks have not done is do anything risky inside their own 22. Reeves again, this time puts it high for Tronquez, the winger, to chase, and not taken cleanly at the back by Lansdowne. And so Maori All Blacks could be in a little bit of trouble here if Brazil can move the ball wide. It's Felipe Sansari now. It's Reeves who's chucked back in the tackle by Parkinson. And now Ribolo, the hooker's left it behind. Awkward through the legs. Well, trying a bit of the flair that they're so famous for in football. But now here's Muller making a good run on the outside. Clobbered in the tackle. And the referee has penalised Walker Leaweri here for going high. He was falling, but there was contact with the head.
Oh, there's a mistake from Lansdowne from the restart in there. Both arms over the shoulder, so no doubt about that in terms of being a penalty, but very good start, Brazil, second half.
So Reeves bangs it into the 22. They have had one shot at penalty from distance, but for the most part, they've used penalty possession to try and get themselves into position to mount an attack. You've got to love their attitude. Maori All Blacks have got some very strong reinforcements to call on. Ball down the back, nicely taken though by Muller. Wide they go. Here's Daniel Sansari, the fullback, little untidy, trying to clear it and been grabbed by Billy Harmon. Oh, well done by Harmon, who's been one of the better players for the Maori All Blacks. And now here's Ioane, gets it away to Lowe with the fend. Lowe turns it back and found to Stevenson. Great tackle. Oh, brilliant cover defending by Brazil. Stevenson stayed down. Referee has the arm out. And it's a penalty to Brazil.
No.
Well, they were threatening to score their third try. It was a tremendous tackle made by Tronquez. Was it? No, he missed the first one. Reeves came across, and in fact it was the captain, Felipe Sansari, who made the tackle, and then Reeves another one to snuff out the attack. And at the end, Brazil get a penalty.
Yeah, first genuine counter-attacking opportunity for the Maori, and again, so impressed with Brazil defensively. You can see the enthusiasm still very much there.
Huge.
So 2 tries, Maori All Blacks lead, and I think we'll see some subs. In fact, the first one is coming for Brazil, and on comes Mateo Delacqua. Muller leaving.
Yeah, one debutant replaces another. Delacqua, formerly Italian under-20 representative.
A lot of these Brazilian players have had a bit of sevens experience as well, so they've played in front of big crowds before. That's a good kick. Well, that was a very good kick by Reeves. Tenorio, well, he couldn't take it. He's gone down. Might have stopped one in the ribs. I don't think it was quite that bad. Yeah, he's okay. Well, they're trying a few things too, just growing in confidence to express themselves. Now, Maori All Blacks have it, and a good bust made here by Harmon, who's probably been the best player on the field, and still going, Billy Harmon, storming run down to the 22, pouring through, suspiciously like they're a bit offside there, the Brazilians. Referee happy to wave play on, and Dixon now it is, tries to make a metre around the fringe. He's taken by Diaz. Now Black chips one in behind for Walden to get after. Almost grabbed it. Back was Vieira, the lock. They hold him up. Now the referee says you got to let him go. And he's lost it. Well, he did so well, then he lost possession. Ruru manages to get away from Aruda, the number 8. And Maori All Blacks just looking to up the tempo here. Start building on this half-time lead. May doesn't make much progress, and then he loses it. And Aboud clears it away. Taking it to ground is Duki, the halfback. Remember, there's 2 of them out on the field, the Duki brothers. And there's Lucas back in the action. Bouncing ball, and here's Moises, the other of the Duki brothers, and sends a long kick down towards halfway. What does the referee say? I think he's called them back, is he? No, we'll go for the line out.
Oh, a long period of play and plenty going on. Mentioned in the first half, I was impressed with the ability for both sides to maintain possession. And on that occasion, turnovers galore.
It is a shame about the weather, because it's probably preventing the Maori All Blacks playing with the sort of flair that would have delighted this crowd. That's not a great ball, but it's been well controlled by Black. Just took it on the shins. No knock on. Now they go wide. No, referee says come back. Forward pass. As I say, dry ground. Perhaps an opportunity to see the Maori All Blacks play the sort of magical rugby they're capable of. The crowd would have loved that. Instead, what we're getting here is a match that's affected by the conditions, but it's keeping the home, helping keep the hometown.
Yeah, and I'm picking Tony. They're enjoying this. The fact that their side is still in contact with the Maori.
It's not just the weather that's keeping them in the contest. I hasten to add that their attitude has been outstanding. There's been a bit of niggle, for sure. They're not going to take a backward step. Their set piece has been good.
Well, this particular scrum has been very impressive. Tony, in the dominant scrum, I go as far as to say that.
Getting back to a sort of mixture of Spanish and Portuguese there now.
Es a la izquierda de la marca, es así. Coach.
Even Federico seems to be having fun out there. Well, the scrum battle resumes now. And a big shove from Brazil. Oh, that's sensational. Aruda controlling it in the back. They have absolutely smashed this. Vai Brazil.
Oh, I love it too. Look at them. They're right in the faces. And right, shouldn't they? They be.
They're celebrating that like they just scored a try. And why not?
Yeah, if you're a tight forward, Tony, you've won the game. It's as simple as that. Look at the crowd.
Great moments in Brazilian rugby. The day we marched the team from New Zealand 15 metres down the field at scrum time.
Well, without their regular skipper, Rossetti, and they moved Wilton Rebolo into the 2 jersey, Tony. So they've got 3 props in that front row, and it is paying dividends for them. There's no doubt about that.
Well, there's Veterato, Big Jardel. He is the folk hero of this team. And so now it comes down to Josh Reeves. This man who's scored 105 points in international rugby.
Kind of understand why They're gunning for 3, but wouldn't you just put another scrum down?
Oh, some
keep the momentum.
Well, that's true. Points on the board, I think, what they're after here. Here he comes. Josh Reeves, and he's got it. Nails the penalty. The man from Christchurch, from the Shirley Club, played a lot of rugby for them, out of Christchurch Boys High. Followed his heart to Brazil, and now he's put his adopted country on the board against the Maori All Blacks. Nice moment for him, great moment for his team.
Yeah, and celebrated again by the crowd, and reward too, 3 points for that scrum effort. He watched it too, he watched it for a long time, did Reeves. Brazil on the board, and don't the crowd love it?
So not only have the Maori All Blacks not been able to add to their halftime score, they've conceded points. And no wonder they drive into the restart with great enthusiasm. Bryn Hall is out there.
Yeah, I was just thinking how long before they roll out the heavy armoury, and it's certainly come out in force.
Well, Tyrell Lomax is out there, having joined the team from Japan, having made his All Black debut last weekend.
An immediate response too to that dominant scrum.
Well, what's going to happen this time?
No pressure. Hey, your scrum's just been shunted back 20 metres, and you've been sent out there to rectify that.
Well, he handled things well in Tokyo, Lomax, but early shove. So it's a free kick.
Yep, byproduct again of the previous scrum. Maori just keen to win the contact and just kept on with it.
Well, there's that clearing kick. He's just gone down the middle now. Lansdowne really is caught in two minds a bit there. Black goes to the air. Leading the chase is Thompson. Oh, he took his eyes off it too. That was the fullback, Sansari. Towed ahead. And, scramble in the end goal. Now, Hall's claiming a try here. Brazil reckon they got back first.
I'm not so sure. This is close. This is very, very close.
Okay. Santi, ¿me escuchás?
Well, it's Reeves getting back. I think he might have got to that first, didn't he? Touch and go.
So, on-field decision try, and we're up to Santiago Borsani to give us a reason not to award it.
No te escuché nada, Boli.
Santi, decime si me vas escuchando. Santi, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2.
Oh, great heads-up play by Hall. Did he get there first? Did anyone?
Radio, la radio con Santiago. La radio suplente, ¿dónde está? La otra radio. No, radio. La radio con Santiago. Te dije plan B. Sí. Ok. Te escucho. ¿Me escuchás? ¿Le puedes decir que lo pase de nuevo?
He's gone to his own monitor here. Federico Anselmi. But we just need to slow it down. That's the challenge.
Ricocheting around. And let's have a look here.
Try.
Oh, he's missed it, yeah. Reeves has missed it, and Hall's got it. Slow-mo telling the story. Yep. So the answer will be C.
Well, now they're talking about pressure, whether or not.
Entonces, al no hacer presión, ese crown 5 tira Brasil.
Ah, it's a try.
Perfecto. It's not clear grounding, so
Oh.
round 5 goal. So the knock-ons from the start with? No, it's over. Advantage is over. Advantage was over. No. Advantage was over. I say advantage over. And the grounding is not clear, so it's moved forward. It's a strong goal. So there was a knock-on. Yeah.
Well, Ash still wanting to debate, and Federico says, no, vamos, let's go. Crowd's happy. Brazilian teams are happy. No one's happier than Veterato. He gets to pack down on another scrum.
The picture that I see in the screen is not clear.
You're the ref, says Ash.
That's one thing that is obvious.
Yep, you're the ref. I'm just here to help. Bryn Hall denied.
Not much. It wasn't clear on TV. It wasn't. So do we not get the benefit then? No.
He's getting plenty of advice.
Well, like he's going to change his mind. He's called no try. He's called a scrum. You know what, Bryn? You've got a point.
It'll happen one day, Tony. One day.
Well, someone, yeah.
Sit.
Front rows go down.
Again,
They're
very
going to
good
work,
scrum
aren't they?
here. They are on fire here. He's loving it.
Jadel is the man. Jadel Veterato, Lucas Abud on this side. And of course the big fellow in the middle. He looks pleased with life as well. Big Vilton Rebolo. I think it's converted prop as well.
This is great stuff. They're calling him out. That's what they're doing here, Tony. They're calling out Ben May. This is great stuff. Bring on the next one.
Well, it looks like he's got a bit of a crook back, Ben May. And so Chris Eves will come on.
Loving this.
Well, he's a wily campaigner. Chris Eves, let's see what he can do with Veterato.
Crouch. Bind. Sit.
And second shove clears the ball away. Now they're going to make something of it. Moises Duque setting it 5 metres out. They'll go back to Reeves, well positioned for his clearing kick off the left boot, and gets another good kick away. He's got a very strong kick. That's not him there. And that's big Lucas Abud, the man from the Poli Rugby Club, who's having a great old time out there.
Look at the ref.
Oh, hello, we're all speaking English out there now.
Well, you know, this is a classic situation where, you know, the Maori just need to keep their heads here.
Well, there's a sense of frustration.
Yeah.
Ben May's just been sent packing with a crook back and a ringing noise in his ear.
A couple of messages too.
Jackson Himmelpaul is out there.
Time on.
It looks like he's gone to the side of the scrum. Prinsep is still there. Harmon comes away with it. Angled run from Thompson. Nice offload to the man in support. Who's Proctor is out there. Now, Parkinson. And real urgency now about the Maori All Blacks. It's Akira Ioane who's gone to the bench. And having to work for every metre here. Referee playing advantage.
Now this will be tucked into the corner.
Control yourself. I change the penalty. Control yourself.
Yeah, that's what they need to do. They just need to keep their heads here, the Maori.
Well, looks like they're going to go back to the drive, which has created the 2 tries for them so far. Diaz looking on. Vieira.
They're not lacking options at line-out time.
No, they've now got a very tall line out. Parkinson, Hemmelpool, Walker-Leawere. Hall's even joined in. It's Parkinson who's the target. They take it down. And this time, Brazil drive back at them. But they drive ahead. Dixon looking for his second. He's got it.
Easy. Easy. No. Right me. Right me. No.
So Ash Dixon with a second try, just proving to the Brazilians that he can count.
Oh, this is great. This is great. This is very good work. Dixon stayed in control the whole time, but what's Vettorato? We probably won't get to see it on the replay because it happens a little bit after when they're getting up from the ground and he starts giving the scrum signal, going, oh, just let's have another scrum. It's great stuff, but the Maori have done what they want to do. They've scored another try, so results-wise, it's probably not going to be in doubt now.
Well, he's just given Ash a rev up here, referee Anselmi. I think he's decided that he's had enough niggle and he's had enough of the advice.
Well, yeah, the old story, Tony, the skipper's really the only one that has license to speak to the referee, but they've all had a chip.
Yeah, but even then, Richard, it's a courtesy. It's not a right, it's a courtesy. You can't question. I'm not speaking specifically about Ash Dixon here, it's generically. I think some captains feel they've got a right to go and question every single decision. It's a courtesy. There's nothing in the law book that says that he's entitled to question the referee. Oh, Black. Nice conversion. Kicking well, Oteri Black, and it's great to see him back in action after all the injury problems that he's had. So 21-3 now as we take another look at the kicking style of Oteri Black.
Well, it hasn't dampened the enthusiasm of the crowd, the third try for the Maori. They are simply loving the fact that their side has stayed competitive, stayed in touch. And moreover, they seem to be all of a sudden 30-odd thousand people, Tony, love the scrum.
Reeves with the restart. And Hemmelpool with the claim. Prinsep trying to bash his way through the tackle of Diaz. Hall back to Black. And he bangs one high. This is awkward too. Contestable kick, but sits up nicely for Reeves. Coming hard at him is Matt Proctor. And, well, there was a chance there just for a moment for the Maori All Blacks to walk over that one, but they've got it away. And here's Sonseri. Walker-Leawere trying to get hands on the ball. Vettorato held up, and it's a maul. Great work from Parkinson. Goes to ground, turnover. Well, Parkinson has really caught the eye this year. Made them move down to the Tasman Mako. He's got some help there too from Chris Eves, I hasten to add, but he's been very impressive on this tour. He's a player you like more and more every time you see him.
Absolutely spot on, Tony. Just having a stellar season 2018. Pari Parkinson. He's outstanding last week against the USA and been impressive here, and hard effort. He's had to work hard along with the rest of his teammates. They've had to work hard to subdue a very enthusiastic Brazilian side. Just everything he does, you're spot on, Tony. The more you see of him, the more you like, and the better he gets.
Well, Robbie Abel's out there now. Talking of players in form. Guy really added something to that Auckland team on their way to the Mitre 10 Cup Premiership division. Off goes Ash Dixon.
Be the most comfortable reserve speech those blokes have sat on, Tony. Caro seats on the substitutes bench.
Oh, pampered football players, Richard. It's what they're more used to. I've been to grounds in Britain and Europe where the sub seats are all heated. Only for the home team though. Another big shove from Brazil. Squirts out though. And Hall gets it away. Josh Ioane out there as well. Good work from Lucas Duque to get back, although he's kicked that one out on the full. Chris Eves signalling there. Well, the crowd really enjoying themselves. They've got these glow-in-the-dark cards that they're waving around now. But the great thing about this, Richard, 30,000 here to this game. It's actually being sent out on social media, this game, throughout Brazil.
Yeah, on Twitter.
And so you've got to hope that people have come here and loved it. They'll tell their friends and maybe the interest will grow in this game. Billy Harmon, how good's he been today? He leaves the field. Mitch Karpik is on. Abel taken down by Princep Karpik, his first touch. Here's Thompson. Hall now swings the pass away. Still energy in the defence. It was Rebolo trying to get up and shut down Hemopol. Looking to go through the middle is Eves. Parkinson. Now Hemopol, and good aggression in his running. We saw that in Tokyo last week. Princep, he's halted. Eves, Karpik trying to crash onto it. Now the pick and go from Walker Leawere. Well, using the muscle of their forwards to get the ball closer and closer to the line. Eves, Karpik now. Brazil holding, but coming under increasing pressure. Just a couple of metres away now. Hemopol is only just short of the line. In fact, he's over the line. So, Test rugby in Tokyo last week, Maori All Blacks in Brazil this week, and Jackson Hemopol has scored the 4th try of the game.
Oh, they've had to go pretty direct here, the Maori. And again, the credit to the defensive effort of Brazil this evening. The Maori have had to go down the pick and go route, pick up their 4th try. Did it well though, showed good control conditions again. We had to rate that. They are challenging, but they did well through multiple phases to maintain possession, keep the control at the recycle, and make some inroads to eventually get it into the hands of Jackson Hemopol and stretch it out the Maori.
So 4 tries, all scored by the forwards. It's not really a day for flowing back play. Torrential rain, and so they've had to roll up their sleeves again. We see a replay of the conversion. In fact, we see 2 different angles of the conversion. So play restarts, and Walden it is. Black kicks long. Sansari. This is the fullback trying to chip the ball into some space. Well read though by Hall. Not so much perhaps by his teammate there. And it's been coughed up through the hands of Reeves. And we've got another one of these situations. Maori All Blacks holding the man up off the deck. It's Moises Duque. They bring it to ground. This should be a turnover.
Tell you one bloke that won't mind this result. He's just about to get up. There he is. Big boys, that front row. Lucas Abud.
Keep it straight.
Yeah, jersey 1.
Fair enough, but try to keep it straight.
He really has tried hard to be the picture of reason out there, Federico Anselmi. He's had a few jokes with the players. He's had to speak sternly to them from time to time.
Crouch. Bind. Sit.
Well, Brazil again trying to put the heat on, but those changes in the front row seem to have sorted a few things out at scrum time. Pass out the back door from Thompson. Lowe leaves it behind. No, he's lost it. In fact, it was Proctor. No, Lowe. There it is, getting up off the deck.
No, handling errors. 6 from the Maori, 5 from Brazil, and again, just given the conditions, you've got to admire both teams, their ability to maintain possession, control possession.
Yeah, dozen or so handling errors in this torrential rain. It's not bad going. Michael Oliveira is on in jersey 20. Well, that's Oliveira. That's part of his name. He's one of those guys with a very, very long name.
Early, both. Early, both. Gap.
Well, 12 minutes to go in the game, and the big fella's still out there. In fact, their 2 starting props are still out there, and you don't see that very often.
No, and I'm picking if they had their way, Tony, they'll see this one through. Might not get that option though, but they are happy to go all day, those 2.
I bet they're looking forward to striking up, trying to have some sort of conversation with the guys they've been doing battle with when the match is over. Front row's gone down. Lomax has definitely solidified things. Now, Duque running around behind his teammates, lobbing the kick in behind, and it's going to go all the way. Dotted down by Lowe. Proctor thinking about the prospect of a quick restart, can't do so. Not many chances going the way of Stevenson on the right. Lowe's had a couple of dabs down the left. Just hasn't been a day for the outside.
No, they haven't created many opportunities. Again, somewhat dictated to by the pressure they've been put under.
And that one's bounced into touch. As I say, not a tall pack, the Brazilians, but boy, there's some solid out there, isn't there?
Oh, here he comes. They're not going to go 80 minutes. Tony.
Yeah, Rocha coming on at 18. It's Abud who leaves.
Halfback as well. That was Duquette that we saw there, and there's the big replacement. They've replaced like for like, I'll give them that.
A little balk there, but he got away with it. And Oliveira losing possession And Karpik has it now for the Maori All Blacks. Black chance maybe to get it wide here now. Little show of the ball, and good work too from Josh Ioane, who really looked good when he came on last week in Chicago. Rush defence, but the offload from Parkinson, and ball picked up nicely on the bounce by Mitch Karpik. Hall, well, they really want to finish well here, but well, losing the handle as he looked to get the pass away, or Terry Black, but the referee says penalty, offside. Oh, he almost copped a high one there too, not quite. It's from Delacqua. That's not a good clearance.
Say again?
Yeah, just trying to sort out.
Fair enough?
And, Brazil side looking to make some changes. Player down injured, so.
Reed Prinsep, by the way, has taken over as captain of Maori All Blacks now that Ash Dixon has left the field. And, well, that's a good kick. 15 metres from the corner. Just want to hang in here, Brazil. They don't want the score to blow out in the last 10 minutes. Doesn't look like they're going to contest the line-out, that's for sure. So Robbie Abel with the throw. And again, Parkinson goes high. Abel's got it. He's just going to carry on where Dixon left off. They can't advance it initially. Now they go ahead, but Brazil managing to hold them up. So they go to the back line. Thompson ducking under the tackle of Aruda. Hall gets organised. Parkinson pops it up to Lomax. Makes a couple of hard meters. And so too does Robbie Abel. Makes 3 or 4. Walker Leoete. Well, this is where they've scored their tries. They've left it to the big fellas. The back's going to have any say. No, knock on. And again, celebrated by Brazil.
They will definitely be buoyed by this performance. Tony, 26th ranked team in the world, Brazil. Finished 5th in a 6-team competition in America's Rugby Championship. There's Duque just sitting on the sideline. He had a good afternoon, or good evening.
Well, he'll have loved this, Lucas Duque. He said the best player he's ever played against was Tomasi Thama, playing sevens. Today he's come up against Jonathan Ruru Bryn Hall, and he's held his own, this fellow, man from San Jose, or São Jose. He and his brother really are heroes of the rugby fraternity here in Brazil. And I think he thinks his team's done a pretty good job out there, and he's entitled to feel that. I think Brazil have shown today it's not just Argentina who know how to scrum in South America. Maori All Black scrum has improved as the game's worn on, though, and very untidy at the back. Reeves, though, does well, gets the kick away under pressure, gets a big roar from the crowd, who've kept up their enthusiasm from go to O despite this dreadful weather.
Oh, they sure have.
No downside. I know some people might have questioned what was going on in this game. I just don't see any downside. Even if it had been a blowout, the crowd would have seen some spectacular rugby, seen the possibilities in the game. What they've seen, think it was a gallant performance from this Brazilian team. Sure, the conditions have been a factor, but their attitude, their determination, their resolve has been tremendous.
It's been outstanding. Certainly enjoyed their performance.
Karpik driving through in possession while they still want to finish it off with another try. The Maori All Blacks been a bit frustrated here today. Hasn't proven to be the one-sided match that I think a lot of us thought it might be. Lomax, he's another player who just continues to get better every time he runs out onto the field. Hall, it's a dreadful pass, rolled along the ground as Sean Stevenson says sorry to his North Harbour teammate.
Is your line out? It's yours.
One more game after this on tour for the Maori All Blacks. They go to Santiago and will play against the magnificent backdrop of the Andes next week against Chile. Team beaten by Brazil this year. Robbie Abel. Line out secured. Midfield defence has been good. Abel back in the play. Eves involved in a set move. Stevenson very close to the touchline. Fires one out the back door to Hall. Walker Leawere. They've gone back in order to go forward. The numbers away to the left if they can go that way. Hall. But no, they play it on the advantage. Oh, lovely ball. Lomax involved. Proctor breaking a tackle, pops the pass away. Ioane and Lozen for the try in the corner. So Jonah Lowe, who did well last week in Chicago, finishes off. Proctor heavily involved. Ioane, who's looked good with every touch. Good finish.
Yeah, haven't seen that often in this match. The ball being moved through the hands to the extremes, and on this occasion still a little bit of defensive pressure, but the distribution was good and eventually created the opportunity. Yeah, virtually unmarked. Jonah Lowe, in fact, the skipper Sansari decided that nah, I'm not even going to bother.
Well, they were always in trouble out that side. It was just a matter of when the Māori All Blacks chose to go that way. Proctor coming off a very good All Black debut in Tokyo, heavily involved. Terry Black looking to complete a perfect afternoon with the boot, or evening I should say. And that is another excellent kick. He has been superb in challenging conditions today, Terry Black. It's just great to see him back playing consistently after the injury problems that he's had. Not crossing the bar by much, but still right down the middle.
Referee Anselmi just checks his watch.
Yes, I can assure you that that clock you're seeing in the top left of your screen is just a rough idea of what's going on. High restart. And Proctor involved again. Black thought about throwing the pass, opted to go into the tackle of Moises Duque, and penalty. Holding on. It's Bergo getting the pats on the back. I tell you what, he got more than pats on the back when he scored the winning try against Argentina, or the Argentina 15 earlier on this year. There he is going in. So they get one last shot at it. Brazil.
Good opportunity to return fire. And on the receiving end of 3 tries from this situation, Brazilians, but they've been dominant at scrum time, just haven't had the opportunity to exploit that dominance.
Just hold, no early drive. Just hold. No early drive. Early drive.
So Rebolo, who apart from that 10 minutes in the bin, was going to see the whole game out. There's been about 4 knock-ons in there. And now a maul. Time is up. This could be the end of the game here. Oh, it comes back for the Maori All Blacks. And Hall clears it away. Trying to pick off the intercept was Reeves. And that's it. End of the game. Frederico Anselmi blows the whistle. And in the end, 5 converted tries, and the Maori All Blacks have beaten Brazil in this historic match in Sao Paulo, 35-3.
He was clear on side. Oh, thank you, God.
Coverage of international rugby was powered by the new Amarok V6.